Do you want more success, more growth, more results? Then it's time for the Boundless Success Accelerator from the Modern Observer Group. This isn't your average coaching program. It's where top performers come to dominate. Weekly group sessions, on-demand coaching, a community that's got your back, and a power-packed library of tools to supercharge your business and career. No more excuses, no more waiting. Get in, level up, and start building the life you've been dreaming about. Visit us at modernobserver.com/boundless success to join today. Let's get you to the next level.
We're here because the news is being distorted. We're here because people are being inundated with misinformation on social media. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
USAID payments halted. Iran has more nuclear material than expected. The death of a Hollywood legend, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Chief Justice John Roberts granted the Trump administration's request late Wednesday to pause a lower court's midnight deadline for the government to resume nearly $2 billion in foreign aid payments suspended for weeks. The brief administrative order, which did not address the underlying legal issues, will allow time for a full Supreme Court review. U.S. District Judge Amir Ali had given the administration until 11:59 p.m. to fulfill its contractual obligations and restart the payments, which had been stopped since late January. Ukraine and the U.S. have reached an agreement on a rare earths minerals deal. The deal, which was initiated by the Ukrainians on Wednesday, will be signed officially in the Oval Office by Presidents Trump and Zelensky. The Ukrainian leader is slated to visit the White House on Friday. No security agreement was spelled out in the final document, but that will likely be finalized during the wider negotiations. The deal, which was first offered by the White House during Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent's visit to Ukraine earlier in February, will intertwine the two economies, he said. The UN's International Atomic Energy Agency announced on Wednesday that Iran has produced dramatically more uranium that can be used in 6 atomic bombs, and stressed that Tehran has made no progress on resolving outstanding issues. The significantly increased production and accumulation of highly enriched uranium by Iran, the only non-nuclear weapon state to produce such nuclear material, is of serious concern, the IAEA noted in a report, according to Reuters. According to Iranian regime media outlets, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps General Abraham Jabari said, Operation True Promise 3 will be carried out at the right time, with precision and on a scale sufficient to destroy Israel and raze Tel Aviv and Haifa to the ground. The first deaths have been reported in the Texas measles outbreak. An unvaccinated school-aged child in West Texas has died in a measles outbreak that has sickened at least 124 people in Texas and spread to neighboring New Mexico, local health officials said yesterday. State health officials said many people infected in the outbreak were children who were not vaccinated against measles or whose vaccination status was unknown. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said a second person had also died. They are the first people to die from measles in the U.S. in a decade. The European Commission loosened its requirements on companies to report their social and environmental impacts to the EU. The move is a major pro-business signal from Europe's governing body, meant to encourage greater investment and growth for the continent's faltering economy. The European Commissioner for the Economy said plainly that We cannot hope or expect to successfully compete in a perilous world with one hand tied behind our backs. The ex-IRS contractor who was responsible for leaking President Donald Trump's tax returns also divulged information about more than 405,000 other filers, the agency revealed to the House Judiciary Committee earlier this month. Charles Littlejohn, who is serving a 5-year prison sentence in Florida for leaking the president's tax returns to ProPublica and the New York Times, pleaded guilty to one count of the unauthorized disclosure of return information, even though the leak involved the disclosure of thousands of filers. Last year, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Representative Jim Jordan opened an investigation into the DOJ's unusual and questionable leniency towards Littlejohn following his prison sentence. The FBI is reportedly beginning an investigation into allegations that the agency, when headed by then-Director James Comey, launched a honeypot operation to infiltrate the 2016 Trump campaign with 2 female agents. The Washington Times reported that the agency is looking into an alleged 2015 operation, which was revealed by a whistleblower in a disclosure to the House Judiciary Committee last year and was said to involve 2 agents acting as honeypots while traveling with the Trump team. Honeypots typically refer to undercover agents who act romantically interested in a target in order to draw out information. In the disclosure, the whistleblower is said to be an FBI employee who was involved in an off-the-books investigation targeting then-presidential candidate Donald Trump. The whistleblower reportedly claimed that they knew Comey had ordered a probe into Trump and had personally directed it shortly after Trump announced he was running for president. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced that some information about Jeffrey Epstein would be released by the Department of Justice today. There are over 250 alleged victims, and her office needs to ensure all of their identities are protected. What you're going to see is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information, Bondi said, adding, "But it's pretty sick what that man did," along with his co-defendant. Bondi's revelation comes after Republican lawmakers pressed the DOJ for the release of classified documents and records related to the Jeffrey Epstein case and the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, among other federal secrets. Across the country, protests played out at House GOP town halls and district offices. The demonstrators drove mainstream media coverage of brewing backlash against the Trump administration as the lower chamber left Washington, D.C. for a week-long recess. Except the protests weren't real. George Soros-funded groups, Indivisible and Move On, were at the center of the demonstrations. Both groups launched national mobilization efforts targeting the Trump-Musk agenda and Trump-Musk coup. During the recess period, Move On said its members and allies will show up at congressional-led town halls and congressional offices around the country, targeting House Republicans whose votes will be crucial in opposing Trump and Musk's policies. Indivisible issued a Musk or Us recess toolkit that showed members how to find their local town halls and urged them to take the fight to Elon. Other than these paid protesters, polls have showed no backlash over Doge activities. Trump currently has a 53% favorability rating. The Democratic Party, by contrast, has a 20% favorability rating. In a sad note, 2-time Oscar winner Gene Hackman, age 95, his wife, classical pianist Betsy Arakawa, age 64, and their dog were found dead Wednesday afternoon in their home outside Santa Fe, New Mexico, according to the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office said foul play is not suspected as a factor in those deaths at this time. However, the exact cause of death has not been determined. This is an active and ongoing investigation by the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office, the statement added. That's the raw naked truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.